The Vikings have won their last two visits to New Orleans, but certainly will be the underdog on Monday night. Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz, CBS Sports' Charley Casserly. Glad to be with you on the NFL previews presented by Comcast. And Charley, part of the reason they'll be the underdog is the fact that Drew Brees is the quarterback for the Saints, and it doesn't seem to matter who he's throwing the football to. He's doing just fine.
Oh, he is. I mean, I'll tell you what, this guy is having an MVP year. 8 touchdowns here just so far this season, 72% completions. He's an accurate passer. He's smart. He sprays the ball around. And you're right. He's had multiple receiver issues this year. It doesn't affect their passing game. They do a great job schematically of getting people open. That's a credit to Sean Payton and their offensive coaching staff.
No Colston again. No Shockey again. He lost Colston 2 weeks ago. You lose Shockey for last week's game. He's still throwing for over 400 yards, and they're 2-2. Meanwhile, in this game, you know you're going to struggle to run the ball against Minnesota. So does it almost help that you have to be one-dimensional in this?
Well, I think what helps is the fact that you are a very good passing team. And the way to beat Minnesota is throw the football. You look at the Saints here, 25th in the rush, the Vikings 3rd, but Minnesota's 17th versus 1. So clearly what Minnesota's got to be thinking, hey, we've got to do a better job of pressuring the quarterback and getting pressure on him. So key matchup there is going to be Jared Allen, Jamal Brown, left tackle. Jamal Brown versus the right defensive end, Jared Allen.
Now, on the other side for Minnesota, they're 1-3 coming into this game, and that's a team that a lot of people thought could win, maybe should win the NFC North. They're going at it with Gus Frerotte, who we expect to play. The injury from last week's game against Tennessee, not to be serious. But what hurt them last week? Why are they 1-3 as opposed to 2-2?
Well, turnovers. It really is, because they could have beaten Tennessee in the game there, but you get 4 turnovers. You know, you get points there, 17 points off the turnovers. You're not going to win doing that. So you clean up the turnovers. You had a fumble by a quarterback-center exchange. You had some fumbles by running backs. But you also had a pass interception caused by a breakdown in pass protection. So it's kind of all of the above in the game. But this Minnesota offense can score points against this New Orleans defense. They can run it and they can throw it. And a guy named Bernard Berrien, to me, has got to come up big in this game, in the passing game.
Is he the key? Because we know Adrian Peterson, who has yet to have that breakout game this season like he did last year. We know he will probably get some yards this weekend against New Orleans. But Berrien, he's your key for the Vikings?
Yeah, because it's a big play guy here. The guy you see 17.7, but no touchdown receptions. I think the Saints will struggle in the secondary trying to cover him. Berrien has a speed to get deep, but he's got to be consistent. He's had some drops this year. He can't have those drops on Monday night.
It would also help if Sidney Rice is active because he's coming back from injury. Now, one other note to make in this game, Bryant McKinnie, his 4-game suspension is over. Do you immediately plug him in, and how much does that help?
Well, you have to look and see what he looks like in practice, and obviously we're not at their practice, we can't take. But if he has any a conditioning level there at all, get him out in the game. Maybe you got to platoon him, spot him, but get him back on the field. I'm sure they want to get him in the game. Conditioning level will tell how much he can play in the game. He's got a good matchup in Will Smith, the defensive end for the New Orleans Saints.
He's your Pro Bowl left tackle. You got to play him. Let's take a look at the AccuScore prediction. Throw it all out there. 10,000 tests, 10,000 results. And how about that, Charlie? The Vikings, just 35% in the computer. The Saints come out victorious 65% of the time. Who do you like?
Upset special here, okay? We're going with the Minnesota Vikings. Why? Because they can run the ball with Adrian Peterson, and I think Gus Frerotte will play well enough where they can throw the ball against that weakened Saint defense. And I think Minnesota will make this a one-dimensional game, what we talked about, and certainly New Orleans can throw it on anybody with Drew Brees. I just like the balance of the Minnesota Vikings, a little more desperate at 1-3.
So you weren't surprised or at least impressed last week by the Saints' defensive performance against the 49ers? Didn't do enough for you?
San Francisco 49ers have trouble protecting the quarterback. Minnesota will do a better job.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out. Monday night or 8:30 p.m. Eastern. For more on this one or any other in Week 5, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. For Charley Casserly, I'm Jason Horowitz. It's a big one in the NFC. Take care, folks.